Millions of people live their lives seeking constant approval, afraid to make a move without somebody else's thumbs up, basing their own self-worth on what other people think instead of their own opinion. No more. The crave for external validation is holding you back. And it is time we start validating ourselves, no matter what other people say, do, or think. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you are doing well. My name is Carys, and this is where we talk about how to elevate your life, unlock your full potential, and become the highest and best version of yourself. Before we dive in, make sure you check out the links in the description below. You will find things like my vlog channel, my audio podcast, Highest and Best, my Instagram, my TikTok, and all of those good things. Okay, if you are ready to learn how to stop seeking external validation, then just keep on listening. Chapter 1, we are talking about the validation chokehold. Now, seeking validation from other people can come in many different places. It could be from a significant other, it could be from family, it could be from friends, it can be from the general public and social media and people that you don't even know. Many different forms. Now, why does validation have us in a chokehold? Well, it's because it releases dopamine. We get that feel-good chemical releasing in our body when we get validation from other people. The likes, the comments, the compliments, it all gives us that feel-good boost. But the issue then comes that when you begin to rely on external validation for building your own self-worth. The fact is you never want to put your self-esteem and worth into somebody else's hands, except for God's. Your self-worth should be in his hands. But this addiction that can build of seeking constant approval from other people can lead to anxiety, it can lead to depression, and it can lead to a distorted self-image. You see, when you rely on external validation in order to feel happy and feel good about yourself, you begin to create a gap. And that gap tends to be between the authentic version of you and the version of you that you then show to other people. Your front, the mask that you put on to others. And that is not the way that you should be living. Being dependent on likes and comments and compliments and approval from other people is a very shallow way to live. Because then when you don't get it, your self-worth, your self-esteem is crushed. If you have been feeling like this, that you're constantly checking your phone to see how many likes you got on Instagram, or you won't wear a specific outfit until your friend says that they like it, or you burn yourself out at your job because you're seeking approval from your boss. If any of these things sound like you, the craving for external validation, then we need to get into chapter 2, because this is where we're going to talk about building a foundation. You see, the goal is to build up your self-worth and self-esteem so that you're not dependent on what other people think and the approval of other people to then dictate the things you do. Now, if you are a believer like me, then you will know that building your foundation upon Jesus is the way to go. When you build your life upon his firm foundation, nothing can shake you. If you ask me, it's the best way to live. But anyway, moving on to the exercises, let's go. I want you to get out a pen and a piece of paper, or you can get the Notes app out on your phone if you're technology savvy and you'd rather do it that way, but we're gonna answer some questions together. The first thing I want you to answer to build up this firm foundation for yourself is, what do I do well? Now, these are skills. These are strengths that you have. These are things that people may come to you for advice for. Personally, some things that I do well: I'm a very disciplined person. I'm a very organized person. It comes from being type A. The things that people come to me for advice tends to be self-development. It tends to be social media, and it tends to be health and fitness. Those are 3 big passions in my life, and they are things I take very seriously. Therefore, those are skills and strengths that I have that I know that I am strong at, and I constantly work on becoming better in. Write it down, type it in, take some time to really go into this. The second thing that you're going to answer is, what do I love about myself? You could write things down that are visual. What do you look in the mirror and you love certain features about yourself? You should write down some things about your character. It could be that you're a good friend. It could be that you're very generous. What are things that your family members and your friends, the people that are close to you, would say about you and your character? The third thing that we're going to write down that can help you build a strong foundation is, what are your life wins? Now, this is proof. This is proof of things that you've overcome, achievements that you've got, accomplishments that meant the world to you and hopefully still do. These could be things that you've done that helped you to step outside of your comfort zone. Things you went through that helped you become a better version of who you are today. You have to take time on writing these things down, because sometimes we just forget. Things come and go, and then we don't think about them again. But they could be amazing achievements. So bring it all back up, write it down, or type it in. Number 4 is our dopamine menu. Now, you may have heard me talk about this before, but your dopamine menu is basically, what things do you love to do that brings you joy? What things is it that you're passionate about? What do you do in your life that makes you feel full, that fills your cup, that makes you feel that true, genuine joy? A lot of these questions are all about self-discovery. You're figuring out ways to validate yourself, ways to become independent, things you can do to fill your own cup up so that you're not looking at other people to fill it up for you. And number 5, what validation do I crave from other people? And how can I give it to myself? It could be praise. It could be compliments. It could be approval. It could be feeling valued. As someone who was bullied growing up, when I was an adult, I craved the external validation from social media. When I would post certain things and it didn't get the likes and the comments and the things that I wanted from it, my self-worth then got affected. I would blame it on myself that I wasn't good enough. And that is extremely toxic. It was around this time that I began this journey of self-development and also building my relationship with God. The two of those together helped me break free from the care and worry of other people's opinions and looking to others for what I should think about myself. Knowing that God says, I am enough, I am chosen, and I am loved unconditionally. It completely breaks that chain of the care and worry about other people's validation. Okay, chapter number 3, we are talking about how to break the validation cycle. The first step is to recognize your patterns. You need to be self-aware about who it is that you are seeking this validation from. It could be from one person, or it could be from many different areas, or it could be from literally everyone in your life. Is it a significant other? Are you seeking validation from your parents? Is it from friends? Is it from coworkers? Is it from your boss? Is it from people on social media? Who is it that you are looking to for approval on yourself? You need to figure out where it is coming from, and you need to call it out by name. The more you are aware of it, the more it loses its power over you. Next, you need to find the root. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, you know I'm all about finding the source of certain things. And that is because if you have a weed in your garden and you just cut it off at the top, it's going to grow back. But if you pull the weed out by its roots, it's not going to grow back. You need to figure out what the root is and pull that thing out completely so it does not continue to grow in your life. So now you know your patterns and who it is that you're going to for validation. You need to figure out why. Why am I going to that person? Why do I feel like I need their approval in order to do certain things? For some people, they seek the approval of their parents, and they have to have their parents validate everything that they are doing because of something that happened in their childhood growing up. They may have had to earn attention when they were kids. Like I said, the root that I figured out mine came from was from being bullied. I felt like I wasn't enough. My self-worth was low, so I felt like I had to have validation from the general public and social media in order to feel like I was enough. Recognize the pattern, find the root, and break the chain. If you have the same thing like I had, where you go to social media and the public to validate yourself, then do what I did. Turn off all notifications on your social media. All of them. My notifications for things like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that have not been on for years. Next, you can actually hide your likes now. So when you post something, you can click the button that says hide your likes. Do that. It doesn't matter how many likes you get. You get 1, you get 100, you get 1,000. Turn it off, because you posting that video, that picture, it's because you wanted to post it, not because of the feedback you're getting from other people. Next, I want you to learn how to master detachment. I have a full video on this. It is a game changer. I will leave it linked in the description below. But detachment, in summary, is about when you remove expectations and emotional attachment to people, to situations, and to outcomes. What's great about detachment is that if you are seeking validation from other people, from a coworker, from a family member, from a significant other, when you detach, you do things for you. It doesn't matter what someone says. It doesn't matter what someone does. It doesn't matter what curveball life throws at you. You're going to be okay. You're going to keep moving on. You can detach from the praise. You can detach from the criticism. Being detached allows you to walk, talk, and move more freely and not depending on other people to fill your soul and to give you peace. Okay, chapter number 4, we're talking about how you can put all of this into practice today. First things first, step outside of your comfort zone. I know you've heard the phrase before that growth happens outside of the comfort zone, and that is true. The more that you push yourself to be in places and spaces that are uncomfortable, you will be building up those wins within yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's never as scary as you build it up to be. Next, we are going to build our self-trust back up. When we were children, we did not care about the opinions of other people. When I was a little girl and I wanted to go out wearing my underwear, a tiara, and my white gloves, that's what I wanted to wear. It didn't matter if anybody told me that I had to put more clothes on. You don't go to other people for validation when you're in that childlike state. It is as we grow up that we are then programmed and ingrained from other people and our environment that then it begins to break up this trust within ourselves, that then we seek the constant approval. The fact is, you have to build up the trust within yourself again, because you had it one day. And it's time to get back to that. And one of the best ways that you can build up trust within yourself is to keep promises to yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is extremely important. You are with yourself 24/7, 365. You are seeing the things that you are doing behind closed doors. You are seeing the things that you're doing in the dark, or the things that you're not doing, the things that you say you're going to do and you don't follow through on. You have to learn to keep promises to yourself. If you say you're going to do it, you do it. So begin to create small wins in your life. Think about certain things that you want to do, things that you may have been holding off on because you weren't sure. Get up and do them. Plan for them today. The more you keep your promises to yourself, the more that you show up every day for yourself, the more that you say you're going to do something and you actually follow through, you build your trust up within yourself, you build your confidence, and you build your self-worth. I do also have a full video on how to build your confidence. I will leave it linked in the description below in case you want to watch that after this one. The next thing we're going to do is engage in solo time. I want you to plan a solo day. Plan a date for yourself. Go and do an activity. Go and start a passion project. Spend tomorrow morning out in nature on your own. The more that you become okay with being alone without feeling lonely, the better. Next, I want you to make your moves in silence. You don't have to share everything that you are doing with everyone. Oversharing is not necessarily a good thing. Privacy is power. If you want to do something, you do it. If you want to wear something, you wear it. If you want to cut your hair and color it blue, you do it. Learn to validate yourself and your own opinion and not having to go to somebody else to give you the approval to do what you want to do anyway. You want to ensure that you're always living like your authentic, true, and genuine self. So there's not a gap between who you are and who you show up to be. Know your worth and your value. You are a daughter or a son of a king. You need to start acting like it. Whether it's a family member, a significant other, the general public, or friends, whoever it is that you are going to for validation and for approval, it's time to stop. So become self-aware. I want you to really think about it over this next week. Anytime that you feel like you want to ask somebody's approval on whether you should wear this, or whether you're waiting for feedback from your boss, or whether you're posting a picture on Instagram and you're constantly checking to see what the likes are. Become self-aware of when you're doing this and start to practice some of the things I taught you in this video. This is a journey and it takes time and it takes practice. It literally took me years. And sometimes you still have to check yourself along the way, but just know that it's possible. You just need to take action now. Implement the things that I've said. And I want you to comment down below one thing that you are gonna do today, after this video, in order to start your journey to stop seeking external validation and to validate yourself, because that's what you should be doing. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you found value from it, then please make sure you subscribe, join the family. It helps support this channel. All right, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next one.